Hello there, it's me, Sari here again, and today I thought I'd give it a go making an album with the so-called piano binding. And this is one sequence or one section of the book. I'm just going to show you how I made this, but since I am a person that often injures myself also, I was thinking that these bamboo sticks would definitely be of nuisance to me, even if I had them bound together with strings and such, and even if I were to cut these to size. You know, I came to think about it, perhaps you could put in some kind of a metal wire that is easily bendable, so you could actually have spirals in the end, so that one could go upwards. So in this case you wouldn't have to have these sticks like so. That could be a nice idea actually. And I've used 4 of these this time. So basically I've got 2 pieces of paper that I have cut to size. I just used, I made this one 26 centimeters long because I was thinking that this one could be 13 centimeters when it was folded together like so. And then I scored at 1/2 inch, or perhaps it wasn't 1/2 inch actually, it was 1/4 inch and 1/4 inch on both sides. And I just folded all of these scored lines together down so. And then I measured where I would like to have my cuts. And in this case actually, this paper was bigger before, but I have trimmed it and it has ended up like this. But as you can see here, it's 1/2 inch, a complete inch here, complete inch, complete inch, 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 and then 1/2 inch for this version of this book. And what you're going to do, I mean, I find it most easy to actually just press all these scored lines like so, then put a piece of bamboo stick or something in here so you see that it actually goes through on both sides like so. And then you're going to take another piece of this paper, same size and everything, same kind of scored marks. But should you have the same? No, you shouldn't, I'm sure. Let's see. Well, perhaps you should. You could have the same score marks, as you can see, because this one fits in here nicely. But then you're going to have to reverse it. So when you're going to tie these together, the paper is going to be like this. So you see here, there are some mountain and valley folds going on here with these. So here these are going upwards and these are going downwards. So that's the reason or the meaning for making these come together like so. And in this case you can take your stick or just put it in there, but it isn't that easy that way. So you can actually do it like this. You start here, it's like sewing really. So you need to somehow make this work, and you have to be patient for a while, because it isn't that easy as it were when I worked sitting down on my table. So in this case, I'm just trying to make that work into that slot, and I'm going to continue with that. And you see, I'm just pressing that one in there, making sure it actually goes through. And in this case it went through really nicely. So in this case you can see it goes through there and there, and nothing shows here, but you've got a lovely paper binding here. So that was what actually really got me going. Firstly, if you're going to make lots of these, you could actually bind them together. Let's say you have 4 or 5 of these. You stack them together like so, and then you're going to make sure that you have enough of a thick enough piece of bamboo stick or pen or whatever you want to put in here. And then you're just going to take a string and tie them all together, and you're going to loop them like 8s like so, and then you're going to tie it together and put some glue around here so they actually stay in its place. But as I told you before, I was actually thinking that as a sort of a jewellery, soft, bendable metal wire could be really nice to have as an end. or you could go for string like I have done here. I put some turquoise string into these booklets or these big pieces of books, and you can see that there is that nice binding there, and then there's this lovely turquoise coming up there every once in a while. And here is the final piece of that first one, and I thought that I would actually want to make this into a book or an album, so I decided on gluing the last page and the first page together. But I thought, why should I glue them together? I miss out on the opportunity of making it into a pocket. So that's what I did. I hope you can see that I have put some distance foam tape here, and I have made some let's see if I can show you. I have made myself some hinges just by scoring a piece of paper at 1/2 inch and cutting it to size, and then I just put it here and put that one over there, and I did so on 3 sides. So in this case I'm actually having an opening here, and well, here I go, and as you can see it's really wide and open, so you can actually put in quite a big thing here, or perhaps you don't want to do that, but anyway there's a possibility for you to actually create a pocket like so. So then here's the first page of the second piece of the book, the second page, and then you see that lovely turquoise there again, and there's another pocket here, and then there's a third piece. So you could go on like this forever and ever, I suppose, but there's also this you have to be able to actually grasp of your book. So the reason for me not to use those sticks was, but I didn't want to injure myself. I did want this book to be easy to work with, so I figured string could be nice. And there's another thing that I want to point out with this book. As you see from up here, just disregard from those foam pieces there, you see there is quite a bit of room here. So between the first, second and the third page there isn't that much room, so you shouldn't put too many high decorations and such. But here you could actually go wild with flowers and such if you would feel like to do so. And the gap here has to do with how far you have scored these. So let's say you were to make an even more narrow score mark there, you would have less room here, or the opposite way, you could actually expand the room there. So that's a nice way if you want to put some decorations here. And then you need to keep it simple here again, I suppose. Then you got the chance of putting something into this pocket and keeping it simple, but overload with the flowers and such, or just stickers or whatever, alphabet letters and such. And you see, so that's really a nice tip for that book. With these strings, I just must tell you, they're pretty nice to fondle with, and they really do look smashing against that black. So I just have to figure out what I want to do with this. Just wanted to give it a go, and I wanted to share this, what I learned from here. So here's my book, or the basis for it anyway, and I see, I'm sorry, I'm coming back again. I see no problem with making a really sturdy front and back to this book, so it would actually stick out and feel more book-like, because I'm not going to make it thicker than these 3 pieces here. And so that's it from me. That's the piano bound mini album thingy here. Experiment with your own widths and measurements. I'm sure you're going to have some great fun making this. I love this. Alright, bye bye.